Do you need more likes?
Oh, we're live.
Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib, Bounty 35. I'm sure some people are going to have some things to say about this. Let's start off introducing everybody. Lady Cat.
Hello.
Magic Mike.
Hello.
And Derpy. Feeling pretty as always?
But wait, there's more.
I see. Okay, well, I guess I'll have to wait unless there's something you want to bust out at this point. Okay.
No, I'm just gonna say that a whole bunch of times today is all.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, well let's move on to the bug fixes. Please note that we've buffed the Pharaoh cannon by 5% and the Captain's cannon by 10% over the previous tier based on feedback. I'm not sure what over the previous tier based on feedback means. Based on the previous incarnation of the Pharaohs and the Capulus, I did not find those boosts to be those numbers. But I don't know what over the previous tier based on feedback or over the previous tier means.
It probably means over the tyrant.
Yeah.
But how did they calculate those numbers? Like based
based on the feedback, they buffed it. They buffed it because it was too close to the previous tier, which was they figured out based on feedback.
Okay, but the calculation of the numbers as far as 5% and 10%, I found the Pharaoh cannon was 4.5 and the Capulus was 8.3. Did you
in terms of damage or damage per second?
Well, they didn't change the DPS, did they? I mean, they didn't change the reload time.
They didn't change the reload time. They just changed the damage.
So yeah, damage per second. If you want to increase the damage, it shouldn't matter. The percentages should remain constant for damage versus damage point per second. So I didn't get their numbers, and we're assuming this is related to Derpy's feedback. Mr. Tyrant Cannon.
They didn't even need to do it. It was still 20% better based on damage per second.
Okay. Well, now they're not going to listen to you anymore. But yeah, it's all going to get equaled out by how they tune the targets. But yeah, I'm still blaming Derpy on this one.
I'm not blaming me. I did not. I said they did not need to buff this.
But previously on the should we go back to the previous show?
On the previous show, I said that the Tyrant was sort of comparable if you wanted a worse option with a lower build time. So
they're making that option worser.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So just so you know, don't expect we haven't seen the targets, but don't expect a lot of increased damage. We haven't really actually bought anything here. They're still going to tune them based on the current damage of both of these cannons. So HTML5 beta fixed an issue where the health bar wasn't accurate when engaging in certain targets. I'm assuming this is the upper left health bar. I know, Derpy, you've been participating a lot with the HTML5 beta. Is this true? And was it when engaging certain targets? So there's a two-part question in there.
So what I found, and I talked directly to a Kixeye engineer, customer support. I'm not exactly sure what he does, but in the HTML5 beta launch Discord thing, I found that the raid targets, the 126 and the 909 or whatever it was, definitely. Probably the 124 also. The health bar was not updating instantly or even close to instantly for me. So I put together a 20-second video of me driving into a cloud and the health bar in the top left not changing and sent it to them. I have only noticed it not updating in those raid targets, so that's probably what the only in certain targets means.
Okay. So have you hit any targets in HTML5 since this update went out?
Yes, and they worked for me, but they worked last month anyway. The ones that didn't were the Mutineer raid targets, but those are gone. So
Okay. So it seems like it's they're having a hard time working them into the newer targets.
possibly.
Possibly, yeah. So, alrighty. Let's give it one more click unless anybody has anything else on this. Okay. One of the things we've been asking for, only available in HTML5,
Oh
is,
God. HTML.
is you do not have to have a empty shipyard of whatever the appropriate PvE or conquest yard or regular shipyard to see how many upgrade kits that you have and how many that you own, or I mean, how many you need for your next upgrade, and how many you own in total. So that's a step up, but it's HTML5 only. I did switch to HTML5 to check it out myself. This picture is from the briefing, but
Which number switch?
the left is 50, which means how many you need. But this,
And the right is how many you have.
yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. I'd switch to HTML just for that. I might switch back to Flash when I'm done.
Well, actually, it doesn't make sense because it's in red. So I think the first one is how many you have, based on what the way they described it. Because it's in red. Red means you do not have enough. So I'm assuming the left is how many you have, and the right is how many you need.
Derpy, are you in the game?
Yeah, I am. I checked it out yesterday, and it looks like that to me. So
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay, awesome. So that's, I'm so glad they did that.
Yeah.
That was-
HTML5 only though, so you gotta switch over if you want it. So
and the reason for that is because they'd rather just write the new feature one time instead of trying to duplicate it across two coding systems. Is that a correct assumption?
yeah.
That makes sense for something that's minor like this. It's major, but it's also minor. So
This is the probably the best thing to come out of this update by far.
But is there any chance? I don't know how long it took them to do this. Is there any chance they could have done this 8 months ago?
I would sure have thought so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on. Okay. Vincent's saying 3810. So for the Gladius, so he owns 380, and
You need 10 for that. You won.
yeah. So there we go. Yeah. The first number is how many you own, and the second number is how many you need. I would have assumed the other way around, but
no, I think it makes sense the way they've done it.
Okay. Alrighty. We have a CM Diary. Does anybody remember PP next week? Is that supposed to come out tonight?
It's supposed to come out on Thursday, if I'm recalling correctly.
Okay. And Bounty 35, which I'm sure we'll talk about more as the night progresses.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah. All right. And one more click. Alrighty. Right now it's August 26th, which is the fourth column over, which is also the other important thing, the Gladius Siege Hull TLC. Again, this is only a PvE calendar. And then next week is going to be Pillage. There is no special activity. So, I don't know. Any thoughts? I mean, as far as saving tokens, I don't even know what to do. How is everybody going along with their Gladius builds? A lot of times I plan on having like everything close to done, and then I'm saving as the maximum number of tokens possible for pillage when they release the flagship. But I don't even. I'm not close to being done. With
I
my
have 4 blanks.
yeah.
I'm not close either.
At this point, I've used all my tokens, and I have one fully built, 2 partially built, and then 1 shell, 1 fourth one that's just started to build a few days ago. So I did it in kind of a weird order. I wanted to get one done to test that in the VXP targets, and it didn't do very well at all. But at this point, I have no tokens used, and I'll definitely need to use next week's on the flags.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, that's because I'm saving mine at this point, but I'm not, just to give myself more options. I'm slow building at this point, and I still have tokens from last week's FM. I don't have any chest at this point, but I'll get them in this FM. But then I could burst into pillage. It feels like we're off kilter. I mean,
yeah.
it really feels like I don't plan on getting my Gladius out in any, at least the way it feels right now. Well, my Gladius and the flag, it just feels unobtainable with the build time associated with it. And
I don't think I agree with that, because the build time for the full ship is about equal to the Mutineer.
okay, but you think you're going to get them all done and the flagship like last time?
I think I'll have them all built. Maybe not all upgraded, but I think I'll have them all built.
Okay.
When we did the Mutineer, didn't we have an extra week though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a few upgraded then too.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. I just doesn't feel. I don't feel close, to be honest. So.
Well, that's because I would say that the build time, at least about half of it is on the shell itself. And then the other half, maybe a little bit more, is equipping it.
Yeah.
Which is
okay. We'll see. I just don't. I feel way behind. I mean, I have basically three blanks, and with 1 weapon each, and then I have one that I'm building now that has like 3 or 4 specials. So maybe it's just going to progress wonderfully from now on, but it doesn't feel that close. Gladius is longer than the months, plus they had extra tokens for it. Yeah, we had extra tokens and an extra week. So
what extra tokens do we get for the?
Well, we had an extra week of FM.
Okay, so for the Mutineer, we had extra tokens for it.
Yeah, well, we had extra tokens and an extra week.
Yeah.
So we had
that's a lot.
7 days plus 13 extra days, so it's a whole ship. So basically, the flagship. So I'm wondering if they're going to do something. I'm not sure. I guess pillage build tokens. I don't know. So we'll have to see how that progresses. Since we don't really get that information that far ahead. So I guess we'll move on. All right. Sword of Legion, TLC. This is one thing to help you catch up. We have 1, 2, 3, 8 days of build tokens. And we have 5 days of upgrade tokens, along with the upgrade tokens that you everybody but Derpy got.
Because I'm not a dirty corner.
Well, I don't know. It could have been some of the actions you've taken in the past that have come back to haunt you. I have no idea why you didn't get any of them, but the upgrade tokens. So that would put you at 9. But at this point, I feel too nervous because it's 16 hours plus to get your ships to U1, if you have the labs and whatnot. I don't know if I want to feel like I want to waste that 8 hours right now. Have you? Well, I guess you haven't upgraded anything yet. Does anybody out there know what the build time is for the heavy weapon on the Gladius is? So if anybody knows that, that's already upgraded and tried to fit those, the FM prize, if that's a long period of time, or is that, but this is a must do for everybody. Remember that, Mike?
Yes. What's the... It doesn't say what we need to use.
Okay. Just over 11 hours with the officer from Vincent in regards to the build time on the heavy weapon. But what were we saying, Mike?
No, I was saying what kind of ship, what category of ship do you have to use for it? Does it say anywhere?
Oh, it's
I
Siege.
can't see it. Siege? Okay.
Yeah, Siege. So you're going to be using your Punishers. Unless your Gladiuses are done.
No, they're just 4 blanks.
Yeah.
Actually, 3 blanks and 1 won't be done till tomorrow, so I want to have 4 blanks till tomorrow.
And someone at the beginning said...
What we've been saying, it's like 16 hours and change with all the labs done. So I
would believe that 11-hour. That was closer to what I was told. I was told that an armor plus the railgun was about 18 hours or so.
Okay. So I don't know. But as far as has anybody attempted, both on the show and outside of the show, in chat, have you got anybody attempted this TLC?
David did, or let's see, who did it? Dean McDermott. Dean said the first round's harder than imagined.
Is the first round a Punisher target?
Oh, no, I see.
Dean.
Right at the beginning, early in the show.
Okay. It's a round of TLC harder than imagined. Okay. I don't know what Dean has available. Is he at X1 or what kind of what's going on with his Punishers? But yeah, any feedback would be great as far as the difficulty of doing this, because I think they need to make it fairly obtainable.
Well, if at this point you're just starting it and just getting the hole, you're already way behind.
No, but if you're trying to do it with Punishers, I mean, you're not trying to do this with Gladius, right?
Well, it's going to be Punisher targets anyway, so.
But nobody, I mean, unless you're corning your ass off, you're not going to have Gladius available.
Which is why it's going to be Punisher targets, and you can basically have a fleet at U2 or U3 from just the beginner's introduction to Siege.
Okay. Dynamite says X1 Punisher is about 8 hours of damage on the first prize pack.
Whoa.
1 of 1 was Punisher target from Pillage, but more damage. And Ben, the damage seemed excessive. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to see. All right, Ben, I assume you're currently working on this target. Maybe at some point, if you're working on the target, I can send you the link, and maybe we can pop in and watch what you're doing. Let me know if you're interested in that. And because that wouldn't be a good thing, because they need to make this target easy enough so people can get the
Tokens,
the limited weapon, because this is how they deliver the limited weapons. So I don't know. Either that or Derpy, or you might have.
I'm gonna go see what it looks like.
Okay.
Because I've got a grease monkey crew on, and I've been hitting some of the targets.
The sort of Legion
No,
targets?
the bounty targets.
Okay. Okay. Oh, he's going to be doing it after he secures. Okay. All right. Man, what's he use? Flip. Okay. Alrighty. But it wouldn't be a great thing if this was a very difficult card to obtain, because otherwise nobody's going to be ready for bounty. So they may want to
ready for the raid.
Yeah, ready for the raid, and they may want to dial down damage if people are having 8 hours of damage in prize pack 1, unless they're unless you're watching a derpy video to learn how to drive.
I need to wait for the derpy videos.
Apparently, I need to hit these targets too.
Yeah,
but they're probably all recycled ones. So you go back in time and look at, if you try to remember what raid it was from and find people doing it then.
Yeah. Well, Ben's saying it was a pillage target, but more damage. So, but it can be the same looking target, but the damage might change.
I would kind of highly doubt that they would increase the damage dramatically or even at all for these targets.
But we had to have prepare when we did the targets during the raid.
But there's other things they've done this week that I wouldn't expect either. So
yeah.
So all right. Well, let's move on from Sword of Legion and see if we get any feedback later from anybody. All right.
Huh.
Bounty 35.
What is this? What did you do?
Bounty 35.
Franco sent me this one. I had the Mandalorian on Etsy for $35, but it's bounty. It's 35. He's been really good. He sent me like 6 choices.
It's Bounty Hunter at the Portland Expo Center in Monster Jam, part of the official Monsters Truck series. Bounty 35.
Yes, Bounty 35. It's there. There wasn't really any. There was a bounty paper towel that was like 35% more absorbent. So I went with this one. I thought this was the way to go. And he gave me some other ones, but I thought this was the most enjoyable out of the group. So all right, let's see. That's what we have about Bounty 35. So the next one. The next one.
Uh-oh.
Lady Cat.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I didn't know what next one. He's just.
I'm just watching it.
Yeah.
Why isn't it moving? Oh wait,
Yeah.
that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yes. Yeah. Why is Mike not paying attention? New for tier 9.
Huh?
Yep. New for tier 9, the first time since tier 7. I don't know what that means. The Overlord Carrier Defender Flagship. And we're going to talk about why is this called a carrier, but that's for another subject. Built-in weapon is an aura. I don't even know. The new hierarchy mortar weapon for the Overlord Carrier. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Even they told us it was going to be a slow weapon. Not true. 2 awesome new skins for the Overlord Carrier. Yes. Pirates that opt into bounty within the first 24 hours will receive 25,000 bounty points towards tons of great prizes when the store opened. Don't miss out. They've changed this since I put the slides together, where it says, please note that at least 50% will be secured bounty.
At least? What do you mean at least? It's either 50% or 100% or 0%. So which is it?
I think they've tried to change that to this will drop when the store opens. So I think the smart thing would be to spend this as you get it.
And if some of it is unsecured, I will be going around hitting bases exactly when the store opens, taking half of your free gift or a quarter of your free gift.
But it secures at 10,000, right?
But do you have to sign on for it to actually secure?
That's a good
my
question.
Because what if you're not on and boom, you get hit with 25,000?
And I go hit your base and I take all your stuff. And your base at this point will be your guard's probably pulled. It's probably only half repaired because people have been hitting you for the last few days. So,
yeah,
well, it's probably another way to screw over the Australians.
And well, yeah, that too.
Yeah,
There's a lot of questions about this. I mean, well, first of all, I think a lot of us thought you'd get your points right away. We didn't. They changed the wording. So when we all first read this, we thought we would get our 25,000 right away, but we wouldn't be able to spend it till the store opened. And now we understand we'll get it when the store opens or around that time. Might not even be exactly at that time.
when the store opens or when we log in after the store is opened?
That would be better because hopefully it's going to secure 2250 of it, right? Because you secure at 10,000, and then you would secure the half of whatever you get, which would be 2,500 of the 5,000 that's left over. So how much is going to be secured of that 25,000? It says at least 50%, but
it might matter if you already have some already. That's you have some in your
right. So if I have 5,000 already and I get 25,000 more, do I secure it 30,000?
Yeah, it would make sense to me.
Well, it would, but they had to add that. Please note that at least 50% will be secured.
I think it's like when you get new bounty, half of it automatically secured, and the other half goes up on your meter. Now, if your meter hits 5,000, then all that gets moved to your secured bank.
Right.
So, I think out of the 25,000, you get 12.5K automatically secured, and then 12.5K added to your. But that doesn't make sense.
No, that doesn't make sense. That's got to be, you're going to secure
12.5K added to your. If you add 12.5K unsecured, as soon as that reaches 5,000, it becomes secured.
No, it should. I think you're going to get 2250 secured.
I don't know how you get 2250.
I mean, not 2250. Well, yeah, because you're going to secure when you get 10,000 bounty points, you secure it, right?
But it's not 10,000. It's getting 5,000 unsecured. If that makes sense.
If you're getting, I think what he's saying is you're getting 5,000. Well, you're getting 1250.
If I hit a Kickstarter employee base,
you're getting 1250 on each side.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I'm saying.
So therefore, once you reach 10,000 each side, it's going to secure. So there should be 5,000 left over.
5,000 on each side.
So
no. It would be secured and unsecured. So it would be. It seems like you would have
secure at 5,000 now.
You secure every 5,000 unsecured bounty becomes secured.
Right.
Okay, so it's all secure.
Yeah,
see what I'm saying?
I'll have to see how they do this. I have not blitzed these bounty bases, but if someone does and they know how that works, that might provide how the same works here. It's.
I mean, you have to get a total of 10,000, which is 5,000 secure and 5,000 unsecured. But then once you get that, you've secured 10,000. So if they're going to give you 25,000, then 20,000 of it gets secured right away, and then half of the 5,000 gets secured.
Plus so right now on my screen, if I got 25,000,
right,
half of that would be automatically secured. Okay, so now I have 12.5K to add to this 1.9K unsecured. That would go up past 5,000 twice and leave me with like 4,000 unsecured. but I don't see that that's what's going to happen. I think they're automatically going to have 12.5K to secured and 12.5K to unsecured. And I don't think that unsecured bounty, that 12,500 plus what you had before, I don't think that will secure until you earn up to this point right here to trigger the securing.
So in other words, basically what you're telling me is I'm only going to really get 12.5K because someone's going to come hit my ass the second I have 12,500 sitting there.
Probably.
And then, yeah. So this offer doesn't sound quite as good as.
Well, but if it's going to open when the store opens, you could spend the secured and unsecured.
So if you're fast enough and bounty happens when you log on,
or in a bubble.
I guess if you're in a bubble.
I mean, there's a lot of ifs there, aren't there?
Yeah. No.
So I want to know, and I hope that they spell it out because it's really confusing.
A nice thing would have been if they said you get 25,000 secured bounty at the store opening.
Now, wouldn't that have been nice? Then it really would have been 25,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it would
be even telling us how it works,
and it would be clear. Yeah.
Well, it probably will be clear by tomorrow. Hopefully, somebody will understand all these questions because I'm sure it's not just the show, not just us asking them. There's got to be questions on forums and questions on Discord, and they're going to get tired of answering all the individual questions and then tell us. We hope.
And then to be like, oh, okay, well, the person that figures out, after they hit your base and take all your bounty, they'll message you and tell you what's going on.
I mean, honestly, it's an incentive for us to do this. They're really pushing hard,
Mm-hmm.
We want you to do this, and we're going to give you 25K points for doing it. But is it really? Is this like that credit card scam where they tell you it's 0.5% interest, but
till you use it.
Till you use it, and then it's 27%. Yeah, we just need to know.
All right, so we have the employee bases for the first 24 hours, shipwrecks. Derpy's new favorite thing that he didn't realize existed.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, we should do shipwrecks more than at least once a month isn't bad. I'm like, well, they've been doing it once a month for a long time. Yeah. So, and then King of Nexus, the ultimate coin grab is starting on Thursday until the end of bounty. I thought it was okay. And then employee bases will return usually Saturday at 6:00 Eastern.
Yeah. Well, same time whatever time bounty starts wherever you are.
Yeah.
So.
Or
which they should specify they will return exactly. What is that? Exactly 48 hours, or is that 24 times 3? Is it 48 hours or 72 hours after? They should specify not Saturday, Sunday, because time zones exist. They should say this returns at this time at 24 hours or at store open.
Right.
Or an exact time, not a range of days.
Right. Mm-hmm. Give the dates and the
yeah.
And if it's BST, that's fine. But it should be more specific.
Well, what Derpy's talking about is they say the first 24 hours, the second 24 hours, they should be able to provide the same level of specificity. Sorry.
Now you know what it's like to be me.
Yes, the same level of whatever. I'm not going to say it again. Related to the employee bases reemergence on Saturday or Sunday. So, and the employee bases have defender fleets.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah,
not just defender fleets. They'll have the brand new defender in them.
Yeah, the ones that have not been released to the players yet. So let's click one more time. Tier 9 Defender, the Overlord Carrier. I mean, first of all, why is this called a carrier?
Because somebody saw that name in the history.
Because everything else that's been released in this game that's been called a carrier has UAVs in it.
Right.
Well,
So
maybe that's the X1 upgrade.
somebody didn't know what a carrier was.
Yeah.
And
I think that's exactly what happened.
yeah, they didn't know. We know because we've been playing this freaking game for 8, 9, how many years now? I don't know. We know the history of this game. Whoever named this.
But anybody that follows anything, a carrier has to have an aircraft carrier. It has to have
Right.
something that launches off of it, that looks like a plane. And this does not have, this shoots mortars. This is not a carrier. I mean, it's sort of.
Are all the upgrade levels on there? Does it say what happens at each upgrade level, including X1? I mean, could there be?
No, it doesn't have upgrades yet.
We've only had upgrades for like one defender, maybe 2, and they've only been like U1, maybe U2.
Okay.
There's no way this thing has an X1 upgrade that gives you a UAV. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, whoever named this just didn't pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah, it carries your checkbook. But the fascinating part about it is the whole build time. 15 days, 5 hours, 46 seconds, and 29 seconds. And this is with my, I have all, like the Facebook officers and whatnot.
And the retrofit and.
Yeah, RD, whatever. And, I have everything. So 15 days, 5 hours. That's awesome. That's special.
Oh, wait, there's more. If you want a full build.
Yes. I mean, yeah. We haven't even got how much it costs to earn. But, okay. Do you want to explain? I have a hard time with the special abilities stat block.
Okay. Without even looking at the stat block.
Well,
what it does.
I'll be nice if you looked at it, so everybody's on the same page.
Okay, let me full screen this.
Okay.
What it does, its special ability, which is called the Overlord Glacial Aura. All this does, it does 2 things. First, it makes your piranhas twice as good, so it doubles their shred count. So before, he would shred only 600 ballistic deflection.
Step back. Explain shred.
Okay. The piranha has a weapon, the Forge Fire Thrower, where it shoots at the enemy, and if it hits you, it lowers your deflection by 600, your ballistic deflection by 600.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what this does is it doubles that.
And that process of removing deflection is called shredding.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now, what this does is it doubles that shred. So now your piranhas, instead of lowering the deflection by 600 per hit, they lower it by 1.2k per hit. So it makes your piranhas shred twice as fast. And the total shred count, which you can't even see on here, but you'd have to actually go to your piranha to look at it, or your Forge Fire Thrower probably. The maximum shred count, let's say it's 200,000. That's doubled now, and it's now 400,000. Or it actually does say the numbers on there. So it changes ballistic deflection shredded. So before, the piranha could only do 300,000 ballistic deflection threaded total. Now, because you've doubled the deflection shredded per hit, that's now doubled, and that's brought to 600,000. So it makes your Warhounds weaker. The deflection is lowered by 600,000. And what's more, that can become negative, and if your Warhound has, say, starting out with just say 0 ballistic deflection, and now it has minus 600,000 ballistic deflection, now your offensive ballistic weapons are doing 600,000 more damage to the Warhound.
Over deflection, okay.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure if I get all the details associated, but I shouldn't invite a girl over. Hey, you want to come to my house? My sheets have a 800 shred count.
Well, not really a thread count, rather, but more of a shred count.
Okay, okay, whatever.
So that's the first thing that this does.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing, and they called it a built-in weapon because I don't know why. It's an ability. It's not a weapon.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
It has an aura that has a range of 80 that automatically makes that. Then this applies to all tier 9 and lower attacking fleets. So if tier 10 comes out, they can have something different that doesn't apply, so they don't have to look back quite as far in time or whatever to make sure things work well for future tiers. But basically what it means, if you take your Warhounds, your Trenchers, your Hellswarms, you get within 80 range, you're affected by this ability, which reduces your combat speed by 50%. So before you were going 60 combat speed, now you're going 30 combat speed. You can't resist this in any way, shape, or form. Tactical field resistance, slow resistance, none of that works. It's a flat out, your speed is cut in half.
Okay.
So this makes your Piranhas twice as strong and cuts combat speed in half if people get within 80 range of you.
Okay.
So wherever you have this ship, you're going to want something to stop any rockets coming in because people are going to want to pinch it.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because I find the way it's written to be a little bit confusing.
The way it's written, tactical field resist would work against this, and it would give deflection to every single weapon in your base.
Yeah, it's
which is not what happens.
Yeah. Or it's not what they plan to happen. You never know. So
I think it would be funny if this gave shred to everything in the base.
including like the windmills and
the Gatling gun and the windmill.
The oil rigs. So
you kill an oil rig, 600 shred.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, because most people are, they see this and they're a little bit confused by the special abilities, and then next, besides the 15 days, 5 hours, and then next.
Oh, hold on, I'm sorry. This is why I should not play the game and do this.
All right, and then they have the. I've compared the hierarchy mortar to the gatekeeper mortar,
which is not the mortar for the gatekeeper.
Yeah, which is for the Houndmaster, but it's fun, but it is the name of it. The damage hasn't increased that much, and we were told the hierarchy mortar was going to be a low projectile speed mortar, but they doubled it.
It's an insane projectile speed. It flies across the map and just destroys you.
Yeah. So you have a 600 projectile speed, and then if you throw on, anything that has projectile, now you get to 1200, and that's now it's a missile. It's not a mortar anymore. So that
more of a rocket. I'm
thinking with the range, because let's take one step backwards, because the range is 115 to 150, and take one step back. This is tied to this a mortar range plus 100%. So we're going to double that. Now we can go back. So now
this mortar can only go on that carrier. You can only go on the Overlord carrier. So why would you? And you're not really going to want to use anything else on it.
Why not make it more? Why don't you make it easier for people to understand and just put the range on this one, right? Because it can only, because people are going to get confused. 115 to 150. So the extreme range would be 300, right? Plus 100. But what happens to the minimum range? Because the minimum range, tell me if I'm wrong, but the minimum range stays the same if there's a buff to your range, but it shrinks if there's a debuff to your range.
I had no idea. I would have thought it was affected and that was doubled in any case.
I don't know. Anybody in Anybody on the YouTube chat, as an example, if with this 100% range, I'm assuming it's going to go 115 to 300 on the ship. But let's say that it had a debuff. You cannot do this, but you had a debuff that reduced it by 50% mortar range. The minimum range would be split in half. So I don't know if anybody, based on past history, as far as the way this stuff works. The other big difference is the lack of flak evasion. And I'm not sure if you look at on the right-hand side, the Gatekeeper Mortar, anti-mortar evasion, it's 60%, but flak evasion is also 60%. Two different places. But I assume that's consistent, just should not be there. And then we have a radioactive field that occurs with a duplicate aura cap of 5, which means that this radioactive field can go from 400,000 to 2 million per second, and it has a duration of 6. So it will last for 6 seconds. If you've dropped 5 on there, anything with a range of 10 will lose 2 million per second, depending on the what's the word?
Tick rate?
The deflection.
Okay.
The deflection.
Although someone did tell me that the damage over time fields deflection didn't matter with those, but I'm not sure I believe that.
Say it one more time.
Someone told me that damage over time fields didn't work. Like deflection does not apply to damage over time fields.
That's a controversial subject that I don't even know, because I've seen it both ways, and it's been a long time since we've had DOT fields, so I don't even know how it works anymore. So, alrighty. All right. Well, let's move on to the next one, where people are going to get happier and happier. All right.
Yeah, but wait, there's more.
Yeah. All right. We have the upgrade for the Warhound, because everybody is going to be able to get the overland carrier, because they're going to participate in bounty. Because people really don't care about the people, some people in Canada and Australia don't care about the PvE players. So they keep on releasing this stuff in bounty, which is a fascinating thing, because some people don't want to deal with PvP, but they want to be able to guard their bases. So they haven't made the piranha available to players that don't participate in bounty, even though historically they made them available in pillage. But they've decided to upgrade the Warhound just in case. So they've added an armor slot, and they've increased the firing angle of the Warhound starboard rockets, and the other one, the rockets on both sides, to go from 45% to 90%. So, and that is 200 kits to go to U1, which is where you'll get this.
So if you play this game as a casual PvE player, you're in trouble.
Well, it may not work, but it just feels like it feels like they have a cabal of people that are telling them stuff that doesn't really make sense for the player base at large, because I think there's 2 or 3 maybe 4 or 5 different groups of players in regards to how they view the game, in regards to PvE versus PvP, and how they want to interact with different parts of the game. And a lot of them don't want to react with bounty, even though bounty is chiefly PvE, but they don't want to react. They don't want to participate in it. But
I do PvE bounty. I mean, I don't go out hitting bases, and I don't do it because I enjoy it. I do it because I need the stuff to get the defender stuff. And the only way I can get the defender stuff is if I get the conqueror stuff, so that I'm able to do bounty to get the defender stuff.
mhm.
So I'm a PvE bounty player. So I'm the person that you're speaking to. You know, and you're right. I can't get this anywhere else, and that's why I have to do it through bounty. But I don't like it. I just have to do it. So I have to.
So because of the overload carrier, they decided to release this to make the Warhounds more powerful. But for those that aren't participating in bounty, this is potentially problematic, or do they even care? I don't know.
I don't think they care about the PvE player.
Yeah.
I would personally argue that if you just want to only do PvE, you shouldn't expect to have the brand new flagship defender in the first event it's offered.
Oh, well, but those people haven't even got the piranha.
They
Haven't
should
got
offer it in
anything.
pillage.
What?
They should offer the piranha, the pillage the month after.
Well,
5 weeks
before, because they don't really announce things ahead of time. Before, they were getting these, especially defenders. Defenders are the ones. I mean, I don't care about the conquerors are not the issue. It's the defenders, it's the turrets, it's those sorts of things. Because if they don't care about the people that are going to X1 or U3 for $14.99 or $19.99. I think they've said that with what they've done over the last couple of months, but they should be aware that those players would be like, well, the way you're doing things, you haven't released the piranha yet, and you've released a second defender and bounty, and it's it sounds like they don't care about those people. Is what I say.
I don't think if you don't participate in PvP at all, you should be able to. I don't think that you should be able to get the newest defender as soon as it's offered at the same time as everyone else.
Why?
Because you're choosing to ignore an entire sort of half of the game.
Yeah, but they Kickside themselves ignore that part of the game for how many years where PvP didn't even matter because it was so sideways. And so many people joined the game during that period of time where they don't even participate in PvP because it was so ludicrous because they ignored it for all that period of time. Do you recall that period of time?
Not especially, no.
Okay, there was a period of time where PvP was, just broken. And a lot of people joined the game and, I don't know. Yeah. Defenders, because defenders, turrets should be available for but yeah, I mean, Dynamite agrees with me. I mean, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of people that agree with what I'm saying because that's the way the game, that's the way they did their development. I know that's what they say at this point, and the fact that they have their little cabal of people that are all telling them what to do. But yeah, it's not right. It doesn't really reflect the players in the game. It's doesn't make me happy as far as because I know there's very different kinds of players in the game, and this is not the way you should. You're gonna get rid of a lot of people that are gonna go to U3 or X1 on their raid fleets because you're leaving them open to be abused by anybody that's wants to do, it's
but
just,
if you're not a PvP player, you shouldn't be able to get the PvP stuff
okay.
day one.
PvP impacts your PvE game
No,
because
it doesn't.
Yo,
Yes, it
oh,
does.
okay. Why don't I
It does.
take your doc out and see how you're doing in a TLC, right?
I mean, I guess if you come and hit my base every single day and you kill my
Yeah.
dock all the time.
No, but okay. Let's say you're in a. Let's say you're in the. What's the most recent TLC? What's it called?
Hold the
What-
line. I mean,
no. Sort of
The
Legion.
Pisces
Oh yeah,
okay.
sort of Legion. Like let's say you're going back and you're repairing and da da da, and then somebody knocks your dock out, right?
Okay, yeah.
And now,
That would
now you have that repair, plus you have the repair that that you got associated with doing the TLC, and so now you never, that's why a lot of people don't participate in bounty to begin with, is because my dock could get knocked out, and then this is the most important TLC of the month. The one that they always concurs with bounty is the most important one, and that's the one where you get the build and upgrade tokens for the next raid fleet. It happens always with bounty.
I guess if you do get hit during a TLC, your dock will need to repair. But I don't think that's a huge issue.
Okay, but you're a top you're a top 100 metal person, right?
Probably.
Okay.
We're gonna go with
That's what you say.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So, I'm more speaking for like the general player base. As far as how that works out, and the fact that I think defenders and turrets, not conquerors, not interceptors, but defenders and turrets and turret specials should come out in the pillage or the raid. Should come out in PvE, not in PvP.
well,
But
I'm
they're
okay,
PvP stuff.
but I'm okay. I mean,
No. It's not PvP stuff.
Defender is PvP.
No, it's not. No, it's
Defender, Conqueror, and Interceptor are PvP whole classes.
no. Well, they are only that way because, I mean, are you trying to be difficult? I'm just
No.
no, he's a PvP player. He's
But
giving
then
the
if you're not a PvP,
and you got the side.
your base shouldn't be open for hitting then if you don't participate in that part of the game.
Well, how
Or
many
they should-
people are
or
actually
they
going to
should
come
give
hit
you-
you if you pull your guard and you don't have a base that gives anything? I mean, maybe
I still
Monday
get
and
hit.
Wednesday.
I still get hit.
Well,
How many times have you gotten hit? And
Not that often, but I still get hit. It's a
And
2-hour wait, is what it is. But
yeah,
but
I've gotten hit and I've logged off for 2 hours because I'm not going to.
Sure. But some that don't want to do that, they don't have a means to protect themselves unless they participate in something that they're not interested in.
And you know what? I am okay. I'm gonna be the middle ground here. I'm okay if the defender stuff comes out in bounty first, but it should then come out in pillage or the raid where everybody else can get it.
Yes, it should come out in pillage and the raid and the Forsaken mission.
Right.
That's fine.
That's
It
fine.
should definitely the Piranha should have come out in Last Pillage.
It should have. It didn't.
Did not. It did not happen though.
Yeah, that's
Right.
the thing. They should give a chance for people that just PvE to get it eventually, and hopefully within a month later.
No. I mean, well, if you see, it takes a month to build this
This
overload
one.
carrier. No,
Well,
the defenders, I think, should not even come out in bounty. Conquerors come out in bounty. All the attacking stuff should come out in bounty. I do not agree with the defensive stuff coming out in bounty because so many people don't want to participate in it because of multiple reasons, including the broken bubble and all those things. Even if they wanted to participate in it, it's well, yeah.
Or even just lack of interest in it. I mean,
So
There's
if it comes
no
out in the
reason.
pillage, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's
Well, a raid ship,
agreeing with.
if you're PvE, a raid ship will come out, if you don't get it during the raid, you can get it how many weeks after a raid?
2?
All right. So then it should be 2 weeks for getting anything that's in bounty.
But with the 1 week thing, what is a whale's incentive to go out, get the ship a week ahead of a week ahead of everyone else?
I didn't say a week.
Yeah, Dynamite and Chet, they're saying a week.
Well, you're going to have varying degrees of when it should come out. But I think there should be consistency between PvE and PvP as far as when something comes out for the first time and then once it's available to everybody else. And that should be the same, whether it's PvE or PvP, and it should be consistent. So if you can get a raid fleet 2 weeks after the raid's over, why can't you get a PvP ship or at least a defender ship 2 weeks after? And you've got an incentive. You got 2 weeks to build it and to use it before anybody else can even get it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like 2 weeks beforehand makes sense there, but like 1 week beforehand doesn't. I would say something like 3-4 weeks would make more sense than 2, but
well, it's just because of the timing on
various different events. Yeah,
just the timing of the events. But it should come out no later than a month after it came out in Bounty.
I'd say no later than 5 weeks.
Well, I'd say 4. 4 at max, but that's all negotiable. It's just that it should come out so that the PvEers have an opportunity at some point. It is hard when you do PvE. I mean, we're spending, a lot of us spend for upgrades. That's how some of us get tokens because we're filthy coiners. But we coin for PvE stuff. We don't want to have to coin for PvP as well, even though it's Defender. I can't burn the candle on both ends, and right now they're making me burn it on both ends and the middle to get all this stuff done. And we're struggling.
I still don't think that defenders really impact your gameplay as a PvE player. Like, yeah, you might get hit during a TLC, but is that once a month maybe that happens? You have to spend 4 coins a month or 8 coins a month?
No, it's every 36 hours because it might not be a TLC. He's just saying TLC, but what if you're doing the FM? What if you're doing something else? What if you work full time and you only have a couple hours to play every night and you sit down to play and boom, somebody's got your dog? Well, there goes that night unless you want to coin. I mean, it gets frustrating after a while when it happens often. And it doesn't matter that we don't PvP. We're still going to get hit. And that's okay. I mean, I'm used to that. It's part of the game. But it's still frustrating that you have to do that when you're working so hard to do all these chores to just stay current in the game. Mm-hmm. It's just hard on a PvE player. Now, it's two totally different sides of the game. But PvE players are going to get hit, and their docks aren't going to go down, and you're going to have to repair them. And I'll repair docks once in a while, but I don't want to do it every 3 days.
I don't do it actually. I just sit and wait 2 hours. But I have the 2 hours to wait.
Well, the majority of the time, if I get hit, I don't log in within 2.5 hours of that, so it's already repaired.
Sometimes
I will admit that happens to me as well.
And that was the best thing.
I get hit.
That's the best thing Kix did is put that dock on auto repair.
Exactly right.
That's absolutely wonderful. I wish that my fleet would go on auto repair too.
That would be a good idea as well.
But that's okay. I'm just really glad that they did that for us. That helped PvE players a lot. And sometimes, a lot of times that happens to me. I get back and my dock's already ready and I can go. But if I'm in my, limited play time for this game, and I get hit, it's frustrating. So we're all going to have differing opinions, and I know that they're polar opposites: PvP player mentality versus PvE player mentality. Somewhere we have to all meet in the middle, though. That's my opinion.
Well, my opinion, I'm going to keep with this one. We can keep with this with the whole show. So, because as I recall, Candy Apple is actually a PvP player, so it's, but I don't know. I just feel that the Defender stuff, because of being able to defend your base, impacts your ability to do PvE. These defenders, defender tech, turret tech should be released in a PvE way that's not PvP related, just so they can do raids and whatnot and not have people run over them. So,
and even if they're not, they should at least be released within a month, within 6 weeks of their first introduction.
Or, it used to be a week. I mean, the Piranha is still not been released.
Yeah, what was the timing before? What was it? Was it the Gatekeeper? What was the last Defender ship?
It was the Gatekeeper, and I think I got that in Pillage 5 weeks after it was introduced, but I can't quite recall.
What 1 week after it was introduced. So, yeah. So not Conquerors or Interceptors. Yeah, that should be released in Bounty. Conquerors and Interceptors, and Conqueror specials and weapons should be released that way. But as far as the Defender stuff, it seems to not understand part of the player base.
The people aren't going to want to go out and get all their... And never mind.
Okay.
No, I understand, Derpy. And I just think at some point it does need to be released to the PvE players.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And that needs to be consistent to whatever.
But not after it's broken and
Well,
Yeah.
here's the good news, though. If we get it 6 weeks later, it will have already either been buffed or nerfed by then. So we're going to get it. We'll see what we're getting.
Okay. Well, let's move on to something that I think everybody can agree on.
Okay.
Oh, God.
All right. The Overlord carrier, not a carrier. We're just going to call it the Overlord from now on. Requires you to purchase 14 shards at 9,000 each. Well, how many points did Lady K? You do Bounty. How many points did you have last Bounty? Do you remember?
60, 70, 80, maybe.
Okay. This
Normally,
is...
a ship is normally isn't it like 30K usually for a ship? 30? Does that sound right?
It's usually 30K for one Warhound, one Piranha.
Yeah. So you get
Like,
30K for a ship, and then you got to get the weapon, and maybe a special, and then armor, whatever. Last Bounty, I didn't do so much. I think it was just armors. So I didn't push it as hard. But I never get more than 100K, and that would be amazing to get 100K. So how many do I need to get this ship now?
Okay.
Get the ship?
126.
126,000 plus 15,000 for the Mortar, which is 141,000. But then we're going to subtract the 25,000 that you get for free, right?
No,
That's
you can't because we're not getting 25,000.
well,
I get 12,500.
oh, okay, but if you get it at that point in time, you're able to spend unsecured. So that at least makes it 116,000.
And you need the VXP. Well, you're
Yeah,
going to want the VXP.
you're going to want it.
They're out there too. They're not on the chart, but I looked at the store. They're in the store. They're another 10 or 15,000.
Well, it's 25 days to build the thing. By that point, you're going to be able to get the potentially VXP through the Gladius targets for VXP weekend after the next raid.
True.
Or I guess if you want to coin a 25-day build right now,
I'm not going to do that.
you can get the VXP tokens too. I'm not going to do that either.
Yeah.
Um,
So even included that, it's 116. I mean, in the part we've seen this before, where things have been released by shards, and then they've stopped dropping this. This was years ago, where they stopped dropping the shards, and then they just gave the whole thing away. So it really depends on how this plays out. There could be a chance that not next pillage, but the next following pillage, it'll be 30K for the overload carrier, and you can't even cash in your shards. Things like that have happened historically, especially with the capital ships, as we like to call them. And Lego is suggesting a drum roll for the grand total.
Well, I can tell you the grand total.
Okay.
If you want the all the shards for it, and the only reason for shards is so that you can get it potentially split up over a few bounty events, or if they offer shards later. I'm more upset at the price of the flagship being literally 126,000.
yeah, me too.
That's ridiculous. So getting the flagship, getting all the Warhound upgrade kits, getting the weapon for the hull, and then 12 of the armors at 14,000 each gives you 409,000 points.
Yeah.
But I mean,
what at the same time, while we're doing the FM, that's still relevant, right? Because you need to get the heavy weapon. You still need to get them.
And the heavy weapon is twice as expensive as it possibly should be.
Yes, and then the other issue, besides the heavy weapon, is the fact that right now we have the most important TLC of the month also dropping at the same time, right?
Yep. Which means you can't use both your repair keys for your bounty ships.
Yeah.
Well, you could, but you'd ignore the TLC repairs.
Yeah. So.
And the Kickstarter employee bases are about twice as hard as last time, with the same payout.
And if you don't do the Kickstarter employee basis, you might as well plan on gaining about 10 pounds on your ass from sitting all weekend grinding out those other bases for a couple hundred each.
Or
you've either got to hit other bases.
And hitting those player bases will give you like 4 hours or 2 hours damage because it's half repair. It'll give you like 2 hours damage per base, and you only need to hit like 200 of those.
Only need to hit 200. So
which job did you apply for? I'm curious on this one. I'm curious. Let me know which job you applied for, because I did have one in mind. All right, go ahead. Yeah. It's, Ninja Penguin. I agree. It's been going on for a while, but
I want this ship.
I'm assuming CM, but yeah. I would have got it before you did.
I want this ship and I want it bad, but I can't do it all. I'm going to have to choose. And I'm going to have to choose to do the TLC and the FM. Because in the long run, that's going to keep me going in the game. Not getting the ship will slow me down some because I won't be able to defend myself as well, but I'll still be able to play. So I'm choosing not to do bounty because I can't give it the time I'm going to need to grind out that many points to get the entire ship. Now, I do like the fact that I could get shards and I could get halfway there, but I still have to do that DLC and I still have to do the FM, and I just can't do it all. So that's my reason why I'm not doing bounty this time, for the first time since bounty started.
And personally, I'm going to choose, because that Warhound upgrade that you need to spend 100,000 on to be able to do 5 ships, you need to spend 100,000 points. That's going to take you 50 days to do those upgrades. So, and it's going to take you 25 days to build the new Overlord carrier. So I don't think you should. I think you should.
Calling it carrier.
Yeah, the Overlord, not carrier. So there's no reason for me to get, because I'm not coining anything. There's no reason for me to get both the Warhound upgrade kits and the Overlord not carrier. So I'm just going to get one of them. So, and I'm going to get the Overlord not carrier, and maybe two of the ballistic armors and 2 of the explosive armors. And that's probably about it. If I can even get that much, and the weapon, of course.
But like I said before, it is good that they're giving you the shards, even though I hate the shards. I hate them with a passion. At the same time, it does allow you to spend your points quicker and get partway there. This is something you're going to have to work for to get.
And
this is going to give me thing. Go ahead.
I mean, I was going to say something about the carrier. It's really expensive. Yeah, the not carrier. It's really expensive.
Yeah. And I saw TSM, I believe, said it kicks ass.
It does. It looks like it hurts quite a bit. There were a few bases I took upwards of 2 hours damage on. Trying to see if I can find a 97, because you can do those for almost free with the Warhound fleet.
And, for me as a PvE player with a full-time job, I can't keep up the pace that I'm trying to keep up all the time. It's getting harder and harder and harder to be I can't even say top-level player, but a high-level player.
To stay even caught up in PvE.
Yeah, exactly. It's just getting hard.
You have to... You can't miss an event. You have to hit every single raid, get the new whole building day 1. You have to do the TLC for it when it comes out, the Sword of Legion.
Yeah.
You have to do all your FMs. You have to start your builds almost exactly as they finish. There's not much room for error these days.
There really isn't. And I'll be honest, when I first saw that price, I said, you know what, if I was a rage quitter, this would be the day.
And if you... I guess if you're okay with not participating in the first raid of any cycle, then you can stay caught up more easily. But if you want to participate in every raid, you really can't miss anything.
You can't, exactly. So, sooner or later we're going to break, and I'm really reaching. I'm reaching my breaking point. I'm not threatening to quit or anything like that. I'm just saying that the stress of this game is just getting to me. We all have a lot of stresses right now with the world situation, but the game should be an escape and just not an added stress. And it just feels like a stressor for me right now.
Well, Ligo, you're asking what the Kickstarter employee base levels are. The 92, or is it the 93? 92 is Braidens. The 118 is Aliens. The 111 is Half Centaurs. That's the worst one to hit. It's the most creative, but is most punishing, I'd say. I'm not sure who the 97 is, but I could show a 97. I managed to track one down on the map, so there's a way to do it for not horrible repair.
Okay. I'll add you in if you want me to.
You know what?
I will add you into the...
Okay, yep. So I hit it from the top right, and the first thing you're going to do is you want to charge at the first gate, and I have to go quickly here, otherwise if you wait you'll get damaged. You have to charge at the first gate, and I wish they would increase loading times for this thing. You charge at this gate, kill it, trigger the piranhas, and run back to where you started. Meanwhile, the mortars, which you can't even see very well, are shooting at you, and they're leaving a radioactive cloud behind there. So if you stay in there, you take some damage. I do have a Fear the Splitters crew with help, which helps out quite a bit. And if you can manage to get the enemy piranhas split up onto 2 different Warhounds at once here, that's your ideal situation. And I did stay in range of the Overlord carrier mortars. You really can't see them too well. But they were, if you did notice, they were shooting at me when I was closer where these piranhas are. But I have these split up onto 2 ships, so their deflections are being lowered by a different amount. Because if they're lowered too far, they actually start doing damage now. So the idea is to kill this thing, and maybe you can see my health bar starting to get a little lower. And there's the Overlord carrier shooting at me again. The idea is to kill those things, then retreat. Because your reflections or everything, that shredding is reset completely. And if you can if you can repair for free right here, just on map, or even if you have to go in base and take out a ship and spend 30 seconds repairing, you might lose your target, but you can do that. Now when you go in, your speed crew, if you have gearheads or Fear the Splitzer, will reset as well as your reflections. So now you have to go back in, and you want to get within that mortar minimum range quickly. And that might be 115. It might be more than that, depending on how these buffs to the range work. But so now I'm going to stack my fleet up and move it forwards. Because this thing's going to start shooting at me. And the mortar's coming real quick, and I want to be out of that radioactive field. Then I head off to the right, away from the field here, the aura. Shoot through that first gate, select the first gatekeeper, and keep shooting at that one. And then get within minimum range of this of the carrier or the not carrier, and away from all the heavy turrets. Once those are down, select the second gatekeeper, because you have to kill that before the 415 mark. And now you should be in, because you're within the minimum range. All these turrets on this side don't scratch your deflections. Their damage is too small. And you can kill everything here. Just make sure both the gatekeepers are dead. And here, now you just kill the rest of it on auto or whatever else.
You need to hit 200 of these.
Yeah, only 200 of these. You could do the same thing 200 times.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, it's boring as hell. Now, I guess if I want 200,000, I only need to hit, for 200,000, I only need to hit 80 of these. So, 40 the first day, 40 the second day, which is still a horrible grind. I'd rather hit five real player bases that almost kill my fleet 90% damaged, where I get a payout that's equivalent, so I only have to hit 5 a day for 4, 5, 6 days.
But you can't hit 5 a day, because these are only available for 24 hours, starting a little while ago, and then another 24 hours over the weekend. So you can't hit so many per day.
Yeah. You 48 hours to hit these things. You need I'd say between 80 and 200 of these. So
It's not going to happen for
even
most
if
people.
I can do it with a crew and 2 hits and instant repair, it gets boring real quick. So
And are you going to be able to get 40 done before the 24 hours is up?
I could if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I don't want to sit in front of my computer and grind out on a chore. It's supposed to be a game, not a chore. So
Right. So, but you're a PvP player, so you will enjoy hitting other bases to steal their bounty.
I would enjoy hitting other bases far more than hitting one target. That's the
Right.
exact same.
Right. So a PvE player that's hitting this and gets 100 points away from getting secure and then loses half of it is going to get really annoyed.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's a method that you can do for warhounds with fairly low if you get lucky or do it well. Instant repair
That's
if you
excellent.
want to, and you have the fleet build already.
That's wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. If I was doing bounty, I would definitely follow your method and look for that particular base, which I'm sure is going to be hard to find because everyone's going to be looking for it. That's the other problem. This particular Kixeye employee base is going to be limited.
Yep.
So you got to beat other players to it. And they don't spawn, 20 minutes? How much between their spawn times? I'm trying to remember.
I don't know. I haven't figured out theirs. I just go through the map, click on all of them, and look for the 97.
Right, because it's not in the locator. You have to actually go looking for it and hope you beat somebody else there. And if you're like me, who wants to do part of it and then retreat and then come back and do some more, you gotta hope nobody steals it. If somebody knows that you do that.
Yep. So if you get one far away from your base, and I guess you could take another fleet and sit in it if you wanted to. You could also grind out 1,000 replica bases, these your opponent things, but I've never hit those. The payout's got to be way too low on those.
It's too low. It's not worth it to me. Not for the points we need for this. Are you kidding me? This is
It's not even close.
the points that you're getting for the Kixeye bases is what the points need to be on the replica bases.
Yeah, I think if Kixeye wants us to get all these things, they should raise the payout by between 2 and 5 times.
Yeah, you can't expect us to keep working at minimum wage when the cost of living is so high. And that's what they're doing. Does not make for happy people. And I'm sure there's a bunch of players out there just laughing their asses off at us that, we're whining and complaining because, they'll spend
I think everyone's complaining about these prices.
Well, good. I hope even the coiners are. And I don't mind the coiners and the whales because they help keep this game alive. I don't mind that they get things before I do. As long as I can get there eventually. So I hope everybody's speaking their mind about, and it's not just the price increase in bounty, it's a price increase in the FM. It just seems like everything's getting harder and harder.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, things have gotten more. I don't know why they're doing that, but yeah.
Yeah, see here I messed up. Now this ship's going to have 15, 20 minutes damage on it.
Well, even cows are human.
I don't know if that's true, but
Well, in this case, it is.
Hey, KB, how are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. And yourself?
Okay. So, I don't know. Do we have much else to talk about? Did we miss anything on the show, KB?
No, I don't think so. I think you got the main points. Pretty much that Kix has just lost the plot completely, I think.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard to tell what they're doing more, recently. I mean, between the FM and what they're doing now and Bounty,
they're just sucking the enjoyment out of the game. Because everything requires a truckload of bloody points, and the points are too low to do it in a reasonable amount of time.
Mm.
Like look at what they do with Bounty. Every time with the employee bases, they always get the new tech straight away, so they get harder and harder each time when there's not that much of an increase in what you've got to hit them with.
Yeah, my Warhound fleet has not gotten better in the last since I built it.
Exactly, and it's going to take you a few weeks before you can get all the upgrades done. So
a few months. I'm going to have to build the Defender flagship. Or I guess I could do the Warhound instead, but I'm going to build the Defender flagship and then maybe fit in one Warhound upgrade. And then we get the Conqueror flagship.
That's
and then I still have to finish my Hellswarms. And the Warhound upgrade isn't even that great.
KB, are you running the TLC?
No, not at the moment. I haven't started on that, and I'm still tossing up whether or not to even look at Bounty.
Okay.
It's just getting ridiculous in that, as I said, everything's getting harder to do, and your fleet's not improving at the same rate, so it's just costing you more and more to try and do it to get the points, and
Yeah. Yeah. Because people are asking they want to take a look at what's going on with the TLC. And their Derpy had a ton of damage associated with his bounty stuff, right? And
not a ton, but
okay.
Here's the first encounter. It looks like the level 100 from the raid.
Yeah.
If I were just hitting this myself, I would auto it only the flagship. This is the same as one of those new siege targets on the map.
Mm.
I am at full X1. The mines don't hurt in this one. This one doesn't look that bad. Actually, I'm not at full X1. My fifth ship is still U3. We don't have to run through all 4 encounters here, but as many as we want, as many as you want to show.
Yeah. No, people want to see it because I haven't seen it yet at all. So, no, I'm. Yeah, these are old targets. So yeah. So this is the board 2 versus board 1. I assume that this is the first time I think
this is price pack 1, encounter 1.
Okay.
Thanks, Derpy. We know you got 40 or 38 more of those kick-side bases to hit, so we appreciate stopping.
I'm at 50,000. I spent an hour and a half doing them straight, so.
Can't see the health bar at the top moving either.
Well, that's true. It doesn't look like it is.
So you're doing this no damage, right?
I wish. No, I'm taking some on the bottom right.
Yeah. No, but
I would just auto the flag, but
it's not. Yeah, I'm just saying it's not fixing what one of the main reasons I don't engage in this is, you can't tell your damage.
Yep. That's why I don't do it too.
All right, Dynamit's guessing 35 minutes damage.
Oh, no way.
No, it won't be that much.
20,
Be 17.
23.
17.
14. Ah, 27.
I think I won, right?
I don't know.
Well, I said 23. I think I was the highest.
Yeah. That sounded the closest. I guess I'm used to raid repairing these things where it's half of what it was. So 27 is pretty close to twice 14, right?
Yep.
I just made
So this issue is not fixed.
No.
Apparently not.
No, even though based on what we've heard from Kickside, that was fixed earlier today.
Nope, it is. It's still not fixed. Now, maybe if I stayed in that battle another 5 minutes, the health bar would have updated.
Yeah.
Well, probably it'll update if you go into the next one without repairing.
Yeah, that was something that we did notice happening at one point in time. There's 6 minutes of real damage. Or 7. Or now that's 6. And we're saying counter 2 is the one that was doing lots of damage or something?
Target. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the pillage target.
Yeah.
Now Mike has been doing this for mostly instant repair. Maybe 5 minutes or so on one.
Yeah, I use the waypoints in this one. It works out pretty well. Are you not a fan of the waypoints?
No, not really.
Okay.
If I'm just doing this one time through, I'm willing to micromanage it.
I just find the I don't know.
I guess do the mines in this one hurt? I don't think they do. But
No,
I
they
don't recall.
They didn't in pillage, at least.
Yeah, take out the right, then go back to the left. Okay.
It's just doing what it wants to do here.
Okay. Yeah. If one was to retreat from the LTC.
Yeah, it should do. They don't automatically repair as far as I can remember.
Now there's no way that they would repair automatically. I should have got it in this cluster that first pass through.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Are you backseat driving?
Yeah. I think I'm pretty good about that. not the way I would have.
Well, you're welcome to do it yourself.
No, I'm just
No,
saying.
no backseat driving, Hefe. Actually, we need to have somebody do the derpy voice.
I'm too tired for that.
Aw,
What was that? Are you going to do it?
I'm not gonna do it. You can do it.
No, no, I'm not going to do that.
We went from 11 minutes of repair, so that took me. I did 46 minutes of damage on that one.
Which is pretty high.
Yeah, but considering the fleet can take like 11 hours worth, I don't know.
But we're not getting half damage either, or half repair. So that always ups.
Yeah,
What
that's not
these
quite
things
enough.
do.
Instant repair.
Yeah, I think it's worse than pillage.
Oh yeah.
I mean, maybe. I can't. Yeah, it does seem about twice the damage from pillage.
See, the health bar at the top's now showing, but it won't increase. I don't think.
Have we seen this one before?
This is one where the mines hurt you, and
I don't remember this target. Oh, I do remember. What? Oh,
Yeah. I
no,
think
I don't. It looks somewhat similar to one of them.
I think this one the mines hurt you.
Try to avoid them, and considering my flagship is X1, so it slows them down, shouldn't be that difficult.
So what's the guess? How much damage at the end? I'm guessing 1 hour 57 minutes.
I think it's, I don't know, it seems a bit high, but I'll go 147.
Okay.
Or I could go 12 hours and just have it die.
Just looking at the bottom ship on the right-hand side, it looks like it might be a couple of hours if that's across the lot.
It's not across the lot. I've been tanking with that one, so.
All right. I went with 147. They go with 2 hours 18 minutes.
I'm saying 147. I've got confidence in my driving abilities.
You have confidence in what I said?
No, my driving abilities. Look at them. They hid their radio tower.
But I said 140. You can't.
You said 157. I said 147.
I said, okay.
What did you say?
I said 147. Now you're.
I don't think you did. I think you said 157.
Somebody
You can-
rewind.
You can rewind.
Okay, I went with 147.
You said one. I heard 157.
Okay. Well, I mean, you might be better at your 157.
Well, there's 137. So if
147. Okay.
which was what I said. So I feel pretty good about that one.
Okay. Whatever. Okay.
I guess we all lost because we all went over.
Alrighty. Yeah, I mean, but generally, do you find the damage that you're getting in this target to be reasonable?
I don't know. I think by the time you hit the mastery round, all 7 encounters, you're going to be taking a lot more damage. Probably half the fleet, which is about what we had with the riots on the Mutineer on the Bounty.
Mm.
I don't think it's insane. I don't have 8 hours damage after completing this.
But this means you're going to have to do a little bit every day.
Yeah. Along with the Forsaken Mission, which will take 3 nights of repairing if you do it on auto.
And
Bounty?
bounty, if you're going to do bounty.
Yeah, that's only if you want to do repairing 2 fleets at once, though.
Well, it's time. It's not even the repairs, it's the time.
It's repairs and the time.
You know, you got a repair queue for your conquerors, which is great, but you don't have a separate repair queue for your defenders. So if you're getting hit a lot and you want to repair your guard, you're not going to.
That's where Kickside makes their 4 coins.
Yeah. Still think guards should be the
Automatically start?
well, that too, but the ability to do it in the Conqueror repair queue. If you're going to treat a defender as PvP, then you should be able to repair it as PvP. And I would even give up the 50 at the halftime repair if I could repair it in a separate queue. And there are times in bounty, I usually have a couple of guard fleets on hand and ready to go because my one guard fleet's going to be repairing. If I don't have it ready in time to put out when my bubble drops, I'm going to have another guard fleet out there. I'll have a backup guard fleet. But I can't repair that in the Conqueror queue. So that affects my PvE game as well. Just get a lot of red in my dock.
Oh, I missed something. Well, what are your guesses for this one? You went from 137. I'm saying 210.
I'll agree with you.
$231.
Okay.
So that's not horrible.
That
Now
was
let me check the tokens, see if you need to spend any. Yeah, or if it's a limit of 5 and you can get 8.
Okay. Yeah, during the pillar show, you were getting instant repair of the target, and it was over 40 minutes. Yeah.
Limit of 10, so you should be fine with just getting just running straight through.
Yep.
I plan on saving 8 of these 10 as long as I possibly can. Or all of these 8 as long as I can.
Okay.
And as long as I actually have stuff to spend them on. Like, I'm not going to finish my build and still have these 8. But
yeah, that makes sense.
Like, where I'm at right now, I've got 1 of them fully built. And you can see my upgrade kits. I have 90, I need 10. There's 1 fully built. 1 with 3 specials, 1 of which is probably wrong and no weapons. Then another with more specials and no weapons. So,
Alrighty.
1 building.
Well, I think we've gone for almost 2 hours at this point in time, which is not really, wasn't what I was trying to do. So,
Well, we all had a lot of venting to do, and I apologize for any negativity I might have contributed, but I know I'm not alone. I'm sure there's other players out there feeling the same.
Naughtygirls.com. But yeah, no. Yeah, we'll see you all on Friday, and wish the best to everybody, and you'll have a pleasant evening.
Have fun. Good night, all.
Good night.
Later, people.